So somebody asked me how they should pick the gym that they end up going to, and they mentioned jiu-jitsu specifically, but we're going to go ahead and broaden that out because it's going to be the same regardless. Now, this is a really, really good question, and a lot of people have this question. And the thing that you have to remember above all is that you're doing this for yourself. You're not doing it to enrich the gym owner or to give some weird form of companionship to anybody else who goes to that gym. So if you're at a place, or if you're looking at a place that you really don't think is going to fit your needs, there's absolutely positively nothing wrong with not going to that place and finding somewhere different. I'm also aware that some people are not as lucky as others. Some people kind of have a choice. They might have like 5 or 6 different gyms around them. Other people may only have one if they're lucky. And this obviously really only applies to the people that have the choice. So one of the questions you're going to want to ask yourself to figure this out is what your goals are going to be. Do you want to be a fighter? Do you just want to train to train? Do you want to learn to defend yourself? Do you want to get in shape? A lot of different people have different reasons for doing this kind of thing. And there's a lot of different gyms out there that, whether advertently or inadvertently, they end up catering to those kinds of people. At the end of the day, regardless of what place you go to, you're going to end up learning jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or any other martial art that you're trying to take. And that's not really the issue. The issue is that some places are teaching gi jiu-jitsu. Other places are focusing more on no-gi jiu-jitsu. Some places are focusing on competitions. Other places are focusing on MMA fights and things like that. And they might not turn you away or anything like that if you're not exactly the kind of person that they would normally try to cater to, but you're not going to get exactly what you need out of that place. Because after all, everybody else is training for a completely different reason than you. So they can't really just sit there and go, oh, no, we got to completely change the class around because this one guy came in one day. The next thing you have to do after that is get a feel for not just the environment, but the people in the environment. And the way you're going to do this is by taking a complimentary class if they offer one, or if they have drop-in rates, which is essentially just you throw down 10, 15, 20 bucks and you get to take one class. You're going to take up that offer and you're going to test the place out. And when you test the place out, you got to make sure that you're taking everything in. Take a look at the instructors. Do they make you feel welcome? Do they give you attention? Are they actually trying to teach and help you? Now, you can't expect them to just hang around with you the whole class, especially if there's a big class, but they should at least be making sure that you're getting the basics or telling someone, hey, help this guy out with the basics. Other than that, you also want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on the people that you're taking the class with. You want to get a feel for how these people are. Are they the kinds of people that are actually going to try to help you tread water, or are they just going to let you drown? Are they going to beat up on you? Are they going to use you as the test dummy for that new move that they learned 3 weeks ago? Or are they going to sit here and try and help you to not make certain mistakes that pretty much everybody makes their first day of jiu-jitsu? So certain gyms usually end up taking on certain archetypes, I guess you could say. And it's not really an official thing or anything like that. No one ever really says, oh, this is a fighter gym, or this is just a fitness gym, or anything like that. Really, it's just the people who end up going there sort of make up the gym, or I guess the soul of that gym. And because of this, you'll notice certain archetypes depending on where you're going based off of who is going there. For instance, if you end up going to a gym with a lot of MMA fighters, you're going to notice that there's going to be an emphasis on MMA training. So the grappling and striking that you get is going to be mainly for the cage. And because of this, you're also going to notice a difference in the treatment. They're going to be putting a lot more effort into the fighters. And also, if you end up going with the fighters, those fighters are not going to be putting as much effort into trying to get you up to par. They're going to be more focused on getting ready for their fight and not getting their butt kicked. I'm not saying this is a bad thing or really a good thing. It's just kind of the way that it is. And it's just something for you to look out for. And that's not the only situation that you're going to notice. You'll also notice that there's gyms that are just pure jiu-jitsu. They might not even have striking classes. It might just be gi jiu-jitsu. And they're going to focus mainly on getting you ready for competitions as opposed to just straight up street self-defense. So if you want to be an MMA fighter, or if you just want to learn self-defense, that might not be the gym for you. I'm not saying that it's completely, totally devoid of any value in terms of learning to defend yourself or get ready for an MMA fight, but that's not the goal of what they're doing. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say is that you have to be able to check the quality of the school. And when I say this, I mean two different things. So one of the ways that I mean this is that you have to be able to check the quality of the school as a whole. Are the instructors doing their jobs? Do they constantly cancel class? Do they actually know what they're doing? Are they telling you to do really weird and potentially even insane things? Like, oh, if he pulls guard on you, just grab his nuts. He'll open the guard. If he's telling you to do that kind of stuff to get ready for an MMA fight or a jiu-jitsu tournament, that's probably not the environment for you. Even if you're trying to learn for self-defense, that's probably not the environment for you. There's a lot of weirdos, there's a lot of psychos in the MMA world, and you can't underestimate the possibility or the potential that you are going to end up walking into a place with a psycho and not realize it. Now, I touched upon this briefly a second ago, but you also have to make sure that you're not in a McDojo situation. Is the instructor actually teaching you legitimate fighting techniques, things that you could use against a real person who is trying to hurt you in the moment? Now, if you go to anybody out there directly and ask them, is this a good place to train? Do you do real martial arts? Of course they're going to say yes. They wouldn't say no, even if they really believed that they were not doing good martial arts, because why would they out themselves like that? So in order to find out if it is a good spot for you to be at, there's a bunch of different things you can do. One of them is going to be checking reviews. How many stars do they have? What are the things that people are saying about the place? It's a very, very good way to get a gauge for how the environment is. Another one is going to be to ask them certain questions. Ask them how long they've been doing it for, who they got their black belt from, things like that. What makes them want to teach other people and continue doing this as either a part-time or full-time business? Now, most people are not very good at lying, and because of this, if you exercise a degree of skepticism, you should be able to figure out if you think the person's telling the truth or not. And if you're still not sure, you can go to the internet. When they end up telling you whatever information you ask for, you can Google that information and see what comes up. And if it all lines up, then at the very least you know that they are legitimately certified in whatever art they are teaching. Now, this more so applies to the people that want to learn to fight for whatever reason, but the other issue that arises is that some arts are not really that good for fighting. Not all martial arts were created equal. This is probably the easiest one to test out, because really all you need to do is go to YouTube and type in the name of the art that you're interested in versus, and then the name of another martial art, and you'll get video after video of martial arts facing off against other martial arts. And if you notice that the art that you want to take just keeps losing, and not just losing, but losing in dramatic fashion in a very uncoordinated manner, and it just looks really, really bad, then chances are that is not the art that you want to do if you're trying to learn to fight. So that's all that I have for you today. I hope that helped. To the dude who asked that question, thank you very much. And if anybody else has any other questions out there, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at ScottSullivanMMA. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have thoughts on this video, feel free to leave a comment. Go wild. All right, go crazy. All right, throw caution to the wind. But other than that, thank you very much. Until next time, good luck out there.